Hi, I'm Jill. I'm here at the bellicon studio in Chicago, and we're going to do some rebounding and yoga today. So I thought that we would start here in a cross-legged seated position, and you can just roll your shoulders down your back and maybe close your eyes. Just kind of noticing your posture, sit up nice and tall. Take a couple of deep breaths in and out of your nose. Notice yourself get a little bit taller as you breathe in. Notice your shoulders relax as you exhale. Take 3 more deep breaths. And then drop your chin to your chest, stretching out the back of your neck. And then just roll your head gently from side to side. Roll your chin back to your chest and then just slowly lift your face. Good. Bring your hands out to the sides, palms facing up. You're sitting up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in as you reach your hands up towards the ceiling. And then turn your palms out and press down, exhaling. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, press down. Good. Inhale, reach up. And this time we're going to take the left hand, bring it across your right thigh, right hand behind you, come into a little twist, nice and gentle. Look over your right shoulder. Take a couple of breaths here. And then on your next inhale, reach back up. Take your right hand, cross it over your left thigh, left hand behind you. And you really try to turn your chin over your shoulder, getting a stretch on the right side of your neck. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let your hands go. Good, so scoot yourself back a little bit. So you want to lift your tailbone here. And then we're just going to have a little stretch, just starting to open up the hips before we start to bounce. So maybe you'll start to walk your hands forward. You're keeping a straight back and your heart is reaching forward. You can let your head go, but try not to round the back. Good, and then take a breath, walk your hands and just let your head come up last. You're just noticing how you're feeling here. Good. Stretch your legs long. Shake them out a little bit. Good, and then we're going to come to standing, so you may want to step off your bellicon and then come onto it. Come into the center of the mat. Yeah. Take your shoulders, roll them up and back. Do that a couple of times. Trying to loosen up a little bit. Yeah. And then make sure that your feet are right underneath your hips and that you keep a nice tight core as you start to bounce. Bring your hands to your heart. Just think about getting nice and tall. Or maybe you'll close your eyes and just feel the balance. Good, and open your eyes. Reach your hands forward. Look at your right thumb and follow it back. We're going to open up the chest. Follow it way back. And then slowly bring it forward. Take a look at your left thumb. Start to open it, following with your eyes. And then come forward. Should feel really good, so let's do it again. Right side. And then the left side. Good, and then let your hands go. So we have this great T-bar, so if you have one, you can just kind of hold on to it whenever you need to if you're having any trouble balancing. Good, so now we'll just start bending the knees, maybe lifting the heels a little bit. Start to get a light bounce here, a nice healthy bounce. You might have opposite knee and opposite hand coming forward. And then if you want to step your feet a little wider, you can continue that little health bounce. And then if you want to get your arms involved, you could start little punches here. Good. And then if you want to start to reach up to the ceiling, reach up with one hand and keep the other knee forward. Just you can keep time a little bit. Get your balance. Good. And then come back to center to that health bounce. And then we'll start to step out and step in, maybe coming into a little bit of a jog. And you can start to get a little wider, get a little bit deeper in the hips. Good, and then come back through center. We'll do a little box step. So you step forward, step back, so you're making a little box here. Starting to get the heart rate up. Nice. And then come back through center. So you can keep at that pace, or maybe you want to start to speed up now. Do that step out, step in. Maybe you get a little faster. You come back through center. Do that little box step. Maybe you're going a little deeper, a little faster now. And then come back to your center. Come to a jog. And then we'll start to bounce, have a little bit of fun. So let your shoulders come up and down, just shake out your arms. You bring your hands to your hips and we'll step the feet out and in. You can turn these into jumping jacks. Good, so nice. Let your arms reach up and then they come nice and heavy on the way down. Good, come back through center. Let's bring your arms, we'll sort of alternate, bending the elbows. You can turn this into a twist. So keep that core really tight, protecting your low back. Good, and then come back through center. Do a little skiing from side to side. Once you get used to it, you might be able to bend a little deeper into the knees, like you're really taking on that mountain. Good, and then come back through center. Do some more jumping jacks. One more time through. You want to play with your gaze a little bit. Sing what's like to balance when you're looking down at the floor and then lifting the gaze. And we'll do a little bit of our twists. And then our skiing. Good, and then come back through center. So just slow it down. Maybe coming back to that little health bounce. Good. All right, we're almost ready to do a little more yoga. Let's balance first. So I like to have the bar nearby, just in case you need it. But you could put your weight into your right leg, and maybe you'll just lift the left heel. Maybe you'll lift the knee and reach your arms up. Good, and then lower that foot. So really put your weight so you have to really tighten this thigh. Get the power there. Bend your right heel. Maybe reaching up for balance. Lifting the knee. Good, and then lower it down. If you want to get a little stretch in those thighs, you could bend one knee, reach back. Maybe using the bar for support. Or maybe reaching up. Lower that one. Grab your other foot. So you want to pull the heel in towards your thigh, so you're feeling towards your tush, you're feeling a real nice stretch in your thigh. And then lower down. So we're going to come into some yoga poses here. If you bring your hands onto the frame, you don't have to grip them really hard. We'll come into a cat-cow pose. So your knees are right under your hips. Yeah, so if you let your tailbone lift, your belly will drop. You can lift your face. And then as you exhale, tuck your tailbone under. Bring your chin to your chest. And pull your shoulder blades away from one another. Inhale, lift your tailbone. Exhale, tuck it all in. Good. Inhale, come back to neutral. Bring your toes to the back of the frame here. Find a spot for them. You might have to move the bungees out of the way. Again, no big grip with your hands. You can lift your hips. Keep the knees bent. And you really want that tailbone to go high. And then maybe you can straighten one leg. And then bend your knees. And then straighten the other leg. And then bend your knees. And if you feel ready, you could start to straighten both legs. Shake out your head. Good. Bring your left foot right behind you. We'll try to lift the right heel. Now press into your hands and push your heart back towards that standing leg. Trying to keep the hips square. And then lower that foot to the center. Lift your left heel. So again, we're going to send the heart back. Good, and then lower that leg, that foot. Slowly lower onto your knees. You get a little bit of stretch on the top of the feet and the quadriceps. And if you slide yourself forward a little, you can bring your hands back to the frame and open up the chest. So lift your chest towards the ceiling, press out of your hands. Maybe you lift your hips. And then slowly lower. Good. Reach back, reach your palms back. Try to interlace your fingers. Let's turn to the side for this. So you want to try to get the base of your hands together, and then you can shimmy the shoulder blades together. Maybe taking a breath and looking up, and then dropping your chin to your chest. Pulling the ribs in a little bit. Good. Bring your face back to neutral, let your hands go. Roll out your shoulders. All right, so if you come off of your bellicon, stand up. We'll do a few standing poses. The non-slip socks are really good for this. So if you bring your right foot up to the mat, not quite to the center, and then you can maybe lower the pads of your fingers down and scoot the back foot back. You want to keep nice and straight leg, nice strong back leg. And you want to lift your heart. Good stretch there. And then maybe if you lift the back heel high, you may be able to straighten this front leg a little. Or a lot, and you're pulling your right hip back. And you're keeping your back nice and long. Make your hamstring stretch. And then bend back into this front knee. So your knee is pretty much over your ankle here. So you can stay right here. So this is great. By just keeping a straight back. If you'd like to work on a little balance, you could reach your hands up. Maybe lift your gaze. Sink deeper into that knee. Take a breath. And then we're going to lower the left hand to the inside of your right foot. And you want to keep that back heel pressing straight back. And then you can take a look up. You're turning. It's a twist, so be careful. Maybe reaching your right hand. And looking at your thumb. Take a breath. Lower your hand. Lower your back heel. And we'll come into this warrior two pose. You can give your hip a little relief here and then bend back into your knee. You're going to open up the arms. You're going to look over your right fingers. You really want to turn your chin to get a stretch on the neck. And then really reaching. Good. Bring your left hand down your leg. Just reach up with your right hand. Sink into that front knee. Bring your forearm to your thigh. Open up your knee a little more. And then turn your left rib cage towards the ceiling. Reach up. Take a breath. Exhale, lower your hands. Lift your back heel. And then step your back leg in to come off. Shake it out a little bit. Good, let's step the left foot on the mat. And we'll bring our fingers down, scoot the back foot back. lift your heart again, really bend into the front knee. Good, and then keep the back heel high as you maybe start to straighten that front leg. Maybe not all the way. Keeping the back straight. Good, bend back into that knee. So come up first, just coming up to the thigh. Get your balance, get your stance. It's just icing on the cake if you reach up, it's not necessary. Sink into that front leg. Take a breath. Exhale, lower your right hand to the mat. You're slowly going to turn to the left, looking up, perhaps reaching up. Back heel going straight back. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower your hand. Lower that back heel, come up, maybe relieving the hip by stretching. And then getting a nice stance, sinking into that front knee. Good. So you want to come nice and wide across the chest. Reach out. So you have all this energy going out your hands, and then you turn your chin. Feel that good stretch on the right side of your neck and bend into your knee. Walk your right hand down your leg, just trying to get length on the left side. You don't have to bend too far over. Come back and bring the forearm to open up your knee. Start to turn the ribs towards the ceiling, reaching up. Take a breath. Exhale, lower your hands. Lift your back heel, step in to come off. Good, shake out your legs here. Let's do a little bit of core work. You won't go too hard. So spread your fingers wide on the mat. Step your feet back. Try to get your back nice and long. Shoulders over your wrists. Lift your belly. Tuck it up and in. And then lower onto your forearms. Coming into this sort of Sphinx pose. Maybe you can lift one foot a little bit. Lower it. Maybe you could lift the other one. Lower it. Good. Really engage the belly. And then come back up to the plank pose. At the top of a push-up. And then we're going to walk our feet wide, walk them up a little bit. We're going to come into a wide-legged downward dog. So get your stance the way you like it. And then we'll send the heart back towards the legs, let the head go. Good, inhale, come up straight, now your back. Lift your kneecaps, you're really engaging the thighs. Big hamstring stretch, take a breath. Exhale, send your heart back. Good. Lift your heart, take a breath, and then walk your feet in. Good, so come back to seated positions. Come right to the edge, so you're just on the frame here. We'll do a little pigeon pose. So if you take one ankle and cross it over your opposite knee, then scoot that bottom foot out a little bit so it's right under your ankle's right under your knee. You might be able to put a little pressure on the inside of the knee here. You want to try to sit up tall. If you want to get a little bit more to this outer hip, you might want to reach your heart forward. And inhale, come back up. Lower that ankle. Let's cross the other ankle over. Yeah, giving your hip a little time to settle. Get your back nice and straight. Take a breath. And then maybe you'll lean forward, not necessary. And then inhale, come up. Good. Take that ankle off, slide back so you come back to the center of the mat. Crossing your legs. Let's walk your right hand out a little bit to the frame. Flip your left palm, turn your heart towards the ceiling, reach over. Keep that left hip down, take a breath. Come up. Bring your left hand to the frame. Flip your right palm, reach it over. Right hip, right sit bone staying down. Inhale to come up. Good, so we'll do that again, but this time reach your hand, your arm is sort of in front of you here, and you're just trying to reach as far as you can, and then we'll slowly open up the ribs towards the ceiling. And then exhale, we'll close it off, reach forward. And then just bring your arm bone comes back. And then we'll reach forward. One more time, hold it up. Inhale, come up. Left hand goes out, flip that right palm, reach it in front of you, kind of a diagonal. And then inhale, let that arm bone slide back. And then reach forward. Inhale, open it up. Good, one more time, reach, you're getting so long. And then open up. Inhale to come up. Yeah, roll out the shoulders. Let's stretch the legs out. So I love this pose. It's a little resistance. I can tuck my heel. So I'm tucking my right heel to the frame. And then I'm bending the left knee and opening up to the side. Pull that right hip back a little bit. So this can be a really intense stretch on your low back. So to be safe, I like to bend the knee. And then I'm going to lift my heart, kind of drape my torso on my thigh here. Yeah, getting a nice hamstring stretch. Take a breath. And then exhale, you can fold. Left armpit kind of sinking down towards the mat. So take a really big inhale. And then exhale, let your shoulders go. Now if you love to fold over a straight leg, just be really careful if you want to straighten this leg. Maybe looking up first, extending heart forward. Take another big breath. And then inhale, slowly come up. Good. You can stretch your left leg long. Bend the right knee first, then open it up. Pull the left hip back. Yeah, so again, I like to bend into this knee. Straighten your back, lift your heart, start to drape forward. Good. The right armpit coming down towards the mat. Big breath here, so let the exhale do all the work. A nice long exhale gets all the muscles to relax. If you want to straighten this leg, look up to be really careful of your low back. Lift that heart. Good. Inhale, walk your hands in. Nice. And now we'll bend this left knee and bring the feet together. The great thing about this, the bellicon, is you kind of get that, it's easier to sit here. You get that tailbone to lift up maybe onto the bungees. Then open up your feet a little bit. Helps to release your hips. And then you can just kind of practice bringing heart through. Just sitting here. If you're someone who loves to forward fold, go ahead, but try to keep the back straight. Take a couple of breaths. And then inhale as you walk your hands back up. Good. Shake out those legs again. Good. And then we're going to come into a little back bend, a bridge pose. And I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see this. You may want to take a towel or a blanket or a little pillow, something for your head to rest on, because my head's going to be on the bungees. So you're going to slowly lower yourself down. Get yourself comfortable. And then bring your feet up to the frame. And you're really going to press out of your feet. You're going to let your feet do a lot of the work, and you're going to lift your hips. And then try to shimmy the heads of the shoulders under, maybe interlacing your fingers. And lift the chin off your chest and reach those hips towards the ceiling. Good. On your exhale, let your hands go. You're going to slowly lower down one vertebra at a time, lengthening the back, pulling your tailbone away from you. Coming back down to the mat. Good. You can bring your knees into your chest one at a time. Rock side to side. Massage the low back. Good. And then drop your knees to the right. And open up your arms, turning your chin over your left shoulders. And inhale, slowly roll your knees to the other side. Turning your chin. And inhale your knees back through center. You might want to come into a nice little ball here, wrapping your arms around your shins. Getting the air out as your forehead comes to your knees. And then inhale, lower your shoulders, lower your head. Let's bring your feet back down. Making a nice connection with the earth here. Then you can roll your shoulders back, turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Just this little resting pose. Part your teeth just so you can release your jaw. And then you can use your hands here to bring yourself back up to a seat. And you want to bring your hands to your heart for a second. Take a couple of breaths. Good, thank you. Good work. Thanks for joining me. I hope to see you again soon.